The air is thick with tension as we delve into one of the most chilling mysteries of our time, the Headless Valley in Canada's Nahanni National Park. Imagine a place where beauty intertwines with dread, where the whispers of the past echo through the untouched wilderness. But what really lies beneath the alluring surface? As we traverse this remote expanse, stories of vanished adventurers and gruesome fates emerge, each more chilling than the last. Why have so many entered this valley, never to return? Could it be the legendary Naha tribe, whose dark rituals are said to haunt these lands? Or is there something more sinister lurking in the shadows, waiting for its next victim? Picture the glint of gold attracting desperate miners, driven by ambition yet oblivious to the terror that awaits them. And what about the creatures of the wild? Are they truly the apex predators here, or is there something darker at play? Stay with me as we peel back the layers of this enigma, revealing the twisted tales and unanswered questions that keep the legend of the Headless Valley alive. Prepare yourself. The truth is more disturbing than you could ever imagine. Geography and attractions of the Valley of Headless Men. When you first set your eyes on the Nahanni National Park, you can't help but feel a mix of awe and trepidation. Nestled in the Northwest Territories of Canada, this remote wilderness is a place where nature reigns supreme. The landscape is a breathtaking tapestry of deep canyons, roaring waterfalls, and sprawling forests. The South Nahanni River winds its way through the park, carving out stunning gorges that can take your breath away. It's not just the geography that captivates you. It's the sheer beauty of the untouched wilderness, where every corner seems to reveal a new wonder. The park is also home to some of the most extraordinary geological features you'll ever encounter. The Virginia Falls, for instance, stands as a majestic sentinel over the land, cascading over 90 meters down into a rocky gorge. It's a sight that leaves you speechless, as the roar of the water drowns out everything else. You might find yourself standing at the edge, feeling the mist on your face, and realizing how small you really are in the grand scheme of things. The vibrant colors of the rock formations juxtaposed against the lush greenery create a visual feast that's hard to forget. But it's not just the sights that make this place special. It's the atmosphere. There's a palpable sense of history here, a feeling that you're standing on sacred ground. The air is thick with stories waiting to be told, and every rustle of leaves or snap of a twig seems to echo with the past. It's as if nature itself is whispering secrets to those willing to listen. This is a land that has seen generations of indigenous peoples, explorers, and adventurers, and their legacies are embedded in the very soil. As you venture deeper into the park, you may find traces of human activity, but they are few and far between. The remoteness of Nahanni means you're often miles away from the nearest settlement, surrounded only by the call of birds and the rustle of animals. This isolation can feel both liberating and eerie, especially when you consider the stories that swirl around the area. With such rugged beauty comes an undeniable sense of danger, and it's this juxtaposition that draws many thrill seekers to its shores. Exploring the Valley of Headless Men is not just a physical journey. It's an emotional one as well. The pristine landscape challenges you to reflect on your place in the world and the mysteries that lie within it. Whether you're hiking, canoeing, or simply taking in the sights, there's an undercurrent of excitement tinged with a hint of fear that makes every moment unforgettable. It's a reminder that beauty and danger often coexist, and in this wild corner of the earth, you can feel both at once. History of disappearances. The Valley of Headless Men is infamous not only for its stunning landscapes, but also for the chilling history of disappearances that haunt the region. Over the years, several individuals have gone missing in these vast, unforgiving terrains, leaving families and communities searching for answers. Each case is shrouded in mystery, with details that only add to the intrigue. Some were adventurers in search of thrills. Others were locals going about their daily lives. Regardless of their reasons for being there, their stories often end in tragedy. One particularly haunting case is that of a group of prospectors who vanished without a trace in the 1930s. They were drawn to the promise of gold, lured by tales of riches hidden deep within the wilderness. Their disappearance sparked a massive search operation, but after weeks of searching, all that was found were their abandoned gear and a few scattered belongings. Witnesses reported strange sounds echoing through the valleys around the time they disappeared, leaving many to speculate about what could have happened to them. As time went on, more accounts of disappearances surfaced, each one adding to a growing list of unsolved mysteries. People began to whisper about the curse of the Valley of Headless Men, a notion that gained traction as more individuals went missing. Some stories suggest that the area is not just a physical wilderness, but a spiritual one, where the souls of the lost wander forever. These tales often blur the lines between reality and myth, leaving many to wonder about the true nature of this haunting landscape. The wilderness itself can be unforgiving, and the harsh conditions in the valley only complicate matters. Dense forests, treacherous rivers, and unpredictable weather can easily lead even the most experienced adventurers astray. The vastness of the land makes it easy to disappear without a trace, and it's this very isolation that has fueled countless theories about the fate of those who have vanished. Some locals believe that the land is a character in its own right, capable of swallowing people whole, and this belief only adds to the weight of its history. As I reflect on these stories, I can't help but feel a sense of unease. The idea that someone could simply vanish into thin air in such a beautiful place is both fascinating and terrifying. It serves as a stark reminder that while we may be drawn to adventure, the wild has its own rules that can be unforgiving to those who don't respect its power. The Valley of Headless Men stands as a testament to the mysteries of nature and the fragility of human life. Violent deaths and decapitations. The chilling accounts of violent deaths in the Valley of Headless Men add another layer of horror to its already haunting reputation. Over the years, there have been several documented cases of individuals found dead in the region, often under circumstances that defy explanation. Among the most disturbing details of these incidents is the discovery of bodies without heads, a phenomenon that has left investigators baffled and the public horrified. It's not easy to comprehend how such brutality could occur in a place so breathtakingly beautiful. One of the most notorious cases involved the discovery of a set of remains in the 1960s. The victim was a local trapper who had been reported missing for weeks. When searchers finally located his body, they were met with a gruesome sight. The head was nowhere to be found. The circumstances surrounding his death were shrouded in mystery, with no signs of struggle and no clear motive. This sparked widespread speculation, with some suggesting that the killer could be a deranged individual preying on unsuspecting victims in the wild. These violent incidents have given rise to numerous theories, each more chilling than the last. Some believe that the area is home to a serial killer, someone who has found the perfect hiding spot for their nefarious activities. Others point to the possibility of conflicts among miners or prospectors, suggesting that rivalries may have escalated to deadly encounters. The lack of concrete evidence has only fueled the fire of speculation, leaving many to wonder what dark secrets the valley might be hiding. As I ponder these stories, I find myself grappling with a sense of disbelief. How could such brutality exist in a place that seems untouched by the chaos of the outside world? The juxtaposition of the serene landscape against the horrific tales creates a dissonance that's difficult to shake. It's as if the valley itself holds memories of violence, whispering its secrets to those who dare to enter its depths. The very idea of walking through these woods, knowing that darkness lurks beneath the surface, sends a shiver down my spine. The ongoing mystery of the headless corpses has left a lasting impact on the local community. Families live in fear, knowing that the wilderness can be both a source of beauty and a backdrop for horror. The tales of violent deaths serve as cautionary reminders of the dangers that can arise when one ventures into the unknown. As much as I'm drawn to the allure of adventure, the weight of these stories lingers in the air, urging me to tread carefully in a land where beauty and terror intertwine. Indigenous legends: the Valley of Headless Men is steeped in rich indigenous history, with legends and myths that have been passed down through generations. These stories offer a glimpse into the spiritual connection that the indigenous peoples have with the land, weaving together elements of nature, humanity, and the supernatural. One of the most famous legends is that of the Naha, a tribe said to have been cannibals who roamed the valley in search of prey. Their tales are both captivating and chilling, reflecting the deep-seated fears and respect for the wilderness. According to the legend, the Naha were known for their ferocity and cunning. They were said to be skilled hunters, able to navigate the treacherous terrain with ease. However, their hunger for flesh led them to commit unspeakable acts, preying on those who ventured too close to their territory. The stories serve as a warning to outsiders, cautioning them against encroaching on sacred lands. It's fascinating to think about how these tales were used to instill a sense of respect for the land and its boundaries, highlighting the relationship between the people and their environment. These legends have also evolved over time, with each retelling adding layers of complexity. Some versions depict the Naha as malevolent spirits, haunting the valley and seeking revenge on those who dare to disturb their resting place. Others portray them as tragic figures, victims of circumstance who became lost in their own darkness. The duality of these narratives reflects the complexities of human nature and the struggle between good and evil, making them all the more compelling. As I immerse myself in these stories, I can't help but feel a deep sense of connection to the land and its history. The tales of the Naha resonate with themes of survival, fear, and respect for nature, reminding me that the wilderness is not just a backdrop for adventure, but a living entity with its own stories to tell. The legends serve as a bridge between the past and the present, inviting us to reflect on our relationship with the natural world. In a way, these indigenous legends theories about gold and miners, you wouldn't believe the tales that swirl around the Vale dos Homens Semkabika, especially when it comes to gold. Imagine a time when prospectors flooded the region, fueled by dreams of striking it rich. The allure of gold is a powerful thing. It ignites ambition and often leads to rivalries that can turn deadly. The valleys and mountains hide secrets, and many believe that those who sought fortune may have paid the ultimate price. It's not just about finding gold. It's about the fierce competition and the lengths people will go to claim it. There's something about the isolation of this place that brings out the worst in people. Picture miners, driven by greed, battling each other for claims, sabotaging efforts, or even taking drastic measures against perceived threats. The stories of missing miners often intertwine with these rivalries, leading many to speculate whether some of those disappearances were not just the result of a wild environment, but rather the direct consequence of human conflict. The deeper you dig into the history, the more you realize how intertwined the gold rush fever was with tales of despair and loss. Additionally, the lure of gold often blinds people to the dangers lurking in the wilderness. The rugged terrain is not only physically challenging, but can also be psychologically taxing. Miners isolated from civilization may have succumbed to paranoia or desperation. Some say that the stress and fear of the unknown can drive a person to madness. It's plausible that some of those who vanished may have wandered off, lost their way, or even become victims of their own minds. What starts as a quest for riches can quickly spiral into chaos, and the Vale is all too willing to swallow those who venture too far. The environmental factors play a significant role here as well. The region is notorious for its unpredictable weather and treacherous conditions. A miner could set out with grand dreams, but a sudden storm or a flash flood could easily turn those dreams into a nightmare. It's not just human conflict that claims lives, but also the capriciousness of nature. Many have gone into those hills seeking gold and never returned, their stories becoming just another chapter in the unfinished narrative of the Vale. In the end, the search for gold in the Vale dos Homens Semkabika is a potent mix of ambition, rivalry, and the harsh realities of nature. Those who ventured into the wild with dreams of wealth often found themselves facing challenges far greater than they ever anticipated. And as the tales of disappearances grow, so does the mystery surrounding what truly happened to those who sought their fortune in this unforgiving land. Impact of the remote environment. When you step into the Vale dos Homens, Sem Kabika, the first thing that strikes you is how isolated it feels. It's not just the geography, it's the sheer remoteness that can be both enchanting and terrifying. The vast wilderness stretches on for miles, and suddenly, you realize how small and vulnerable you are in a place where help is not just a phone call away, but perhaps days of travel through rugged terrain. This isolation is a double-edged sword. It keeps the beauty pristine, but also amplifies the dangers that come with venturing into the wild. The dense forests and steep mountains create a natural barrier that can disorient even the most experienced adventurer. Many have wandered into the depths of this wilderness, only to find themselves hopelessly lost. The dense cover can obscure paths and landmarks, leading to a sense of panic when one realizes they are no longer following the trail. This isn't just a casual stroll in the park. It's a place where missteps can lead to dire consequences. You can't help but feel that the land has a way of swallowing you whole if you're not careful. Moreover, the remoteness of the Vale adds an element of mystery to the tales of disappearances. When someone goes missing, the search efforts are hampered by the very nature that draws people in. Rescue teams often face challenges such as rugged terrain, unpredictable weather, and the vastness of the area. This means that many cases go unresolved, feeding into the lore of the region. The combination of human error and environmental challenges creates a perfect storm for the unexplained. It's fascinating how the environment influences behavior too. Being surrounded by nothing but nature can shift one's perspective. The solitude might lead to introspection, but for some, it can breed irrational fears. The isolation can amplify the feeling of being watched or followed, leading to paranoia. In a place like this, where the line between reality and imagination blurs, it's easy to see how some might perceive strange phenomena or hear voices in the whispering winds. Ultimately, the remote environment of the Vale dos Homens, Sem Kabika, plays a pivotal role in the stories of those who have vanished. It's a beautiful, yet treacherous land that tests human limits. This isolation not only complicates search efforts, but also shapes the very experiences of those who dare to explore it. The mysteries of the Vale are not solely the result of human actions, but also the formidable nature that surrounds and sometimes consumes those who enter its depths. Reports of sightings and supernatural experiences, as at the Vale dos Homens, Sem Kabika, wasn't eerie enough. There are countless reports of strange sightings and supernatural experiences that add another layer to its mystique. People come from far and wide, drawn by the legends, and many return with stories that make your skin crawl. Whether it's ghostly figures flitting between trees or disembodied voices carried on the wind, the supernatural seems to thrive in this remote corner of the world. It's as if the very air is charged with an energy that transcends the ordinary. Some visitors claim to have seen the spirits of those who once walked the land, perhaps miners who never returned from their quests for gold. Others describe feeling an inexplicable presence following them, a sensation that sends chills down their spines. You can imagine how the combination of isolation and the haunting beauty of the landscape can create fertile ground for such experiences. The stories become intertwined with the very fabric of the Vale, enriching its lore and drawing in the curious. Then there are those who report hearing strange sounds, echoes of laughter, cries for help, or even whispers that seem to come from nowhere. It's fascinating how our minds can play tricks on us, especially in such an isolated environment. The rustling leaves and creaking branches can easily morph into something more sinister when you let your imagination run wild. For some, this can lead to a heightened sense of awareness, making every snap of a twig feel like a ghostly presence lurking just out of sight. Interestingly, many of these experiences seem to transcend personal beliefs. skeptics and believers alike have reported encounters that defy explanation. Whether it's a fleeting shadow or a feeling of being watched, the stories vary, yet they all share a common thread of unease. There's something about the veil that taps into our primal fears, making it a hotspot for those seeking encounters with the unexplained. It's a reminder that sometimes the mysteries of the world are more profound than we can comprehend. In the end, the reports of sightings and supernatural experiences in the Vale dos Homens, Semcabica serve to deepen its allure. They weave a narrative that keeps people captivated, urging them to explore and uncover what lies beneath the surface. Whether these experiences are the product of an active imagination or genuine encounters with the otherworldly, they add an undeniable richness to the tapestry of stories that surround this mysterious region. Possible interactions with wild animals. When I think about the eerie tales surrounding the Headless Men Valley, one theory always seems to pop up: the potential interactions with wild animals. The area is home to a variety of wildlife, including bears, wolves, and cougars. It's not hard to imagine how a chance encounter with one of these predators could lead to a tragic outcome. The wilderness is unforgiving, and it's a stark reminder that we are not at the top of the food chain. Many who venture into the valley do so with a sense of adventure, but that same thrill can quickly turn to terror if they find themselves in a life-or-death situation with a wild animal. Some locals suggest that certain disappearances could be chalked up to these predatory animals. Take, for example, the stories of campers who went missing after wandering off the beaten path. It's plausible to think they could have stumbled upon a bear or a pack of wolves, leading to a grim fate. The terrain is rugged, and once you stray too far, it's easy to lose your way. In a panic, one might inadvertently provoke an animal, leading to a deadly encounter. This idea isn't just a wild assumption. It's rooted in the harsh realities of living in close proximity to nature. Interestingly, there are also accounts of hunters who have come face to face with wildlife in the region. They describe moments of sheer terror when they found themselves in the presence of a bear, realizing just how vulnerable they are in that scenario. These interactions reinforce the notion that the valley is not just a picturesque escape, but also a territory where nature reigns supreme. It raises questions about our understanding of the ecosystem and how we fit into it. Are we merely visitors, or do we inadvertently provoke the very forces we fear? Moreover, there's a psychological aspect to consider. The fear of wild animals can often lead people to jump to conclusions when something goes wrong. A missing person case can quickly spiral into rumors of animal attacks, which might not always be substantiated. However, the sheer number of wildlife sightings in the area can fuel these speculations. The connection between disappearances and animal interactions is murky, muddled by our imagination and the primal fears we all harbor deep down. Ultimately, while the idea of wild animals being responsible for some of the mysterious disappearances is compelling, it remains just one thread in the intricate tapestry of the valley's history. It's a chilling reminder of the wildness that envelopes the Headless Men Valley, where both nature and human actions intersect in unpredictable and sometimes deadly ways. Investigation and scientific research, the mysteries of the Headless Men Valley, have not gone unnoticed by the scientific community. Over the years, various investigators and researchers have attempted to peel back the layers of enigma surrounding this isolated region. Many have come equipped with the latest technology, hoping to uncover clues that could elucidate the reasons behind the disappearances and the violent incidents. Scientific inquiry is crucial in understanding the facts behind the folklore, but it is often met with challenges unique to the area. One of the primary hurdles in conducting research in this remote part of Canada is accessibility. The rugged terrain can be difficult to navigate, and the harsh climate adds another layer of complication. Researchers often find themselves battling not just the elements, but also the emotional weight of the stories they hear from locals. Many have shared their own theories, blending fact with folklore, making it challenging to separate myth from reality. This intricate web of narratives complicates scientific analysis and often leaves researchers questioning their findings. Despite these challenges, there have been some successful investigations. For instance, teams have employed advanced tracking technology to monitor wildlife movements in the area. These studies aim to determine whether animal behavior might correlate with the patterns of disappearances. The hope is that by understanding the local ecosystem better, researchers can piece together possible scenarios that could explain some of the mysteries. However, the results have been mixed, often leading to more questions than answers. Additionally, some scientists have focused on the geology of the valley, examining how the landscape might affect human behavior and safety. It's fascinating to think about how the physical environment can shape the human experience, especially in a place as enigmatic as this. Understanding how natural features such as cliffs, rivers, and dense forests influence the movements of both people and wildlife can provide critical insights. Yet, even with scientific rigor, the valley continues to hold onto its secrets, proving that not everything can be easily explained or understood. In the end, while scientific research plays a vital role in uncovering the truth behind the Headless Valley, it is often accompanied by the realization that some mysteries may never be fully solved. The intersection of human curiosity and the untamed wilderness creates an atmosphere ripe for exploration, but also for the unknown. Each investigation adds another layer to the complex narrative of the valley, keeping its stories alive in both academic and folklore circles. Pop culture and the Valley of Headless Men. The rich tapestry of mystery surrounding the Headless Valley has not gone unnoticed in popular culture. Films, books, and television shows have all drawn inspiration from the eerie tales that have emerged from this haunting region. The blend of folklore, history, and the supernatural makes it a fertile ground for storytelling. It's intriguing to see how these narratives evolve when they are translated into various media forms, often heightening the sense of fear and allure that the valley embodies. One of the most notable representations of the valley in popular culture occurred in documentary films, where the real-life accounts of disappearances are interwoven with dramatizations. These productions often emphasize the eerie landscapes and the chilling tales of those who vanished without a trace. The visual storytelling adds a layer of intensity, making the valley feel like an ominous character in its own right. Viewers are drawn into the narrative, captivated by the blend of fact and fiction, compelling them to ponder the mysteries even long after the credits roll. In literature, authors have also tapped into the allure of the Headless Valley. The region has appeared in horror and thriller novels, where it serves as a backdrop for stories involving disappearances, supernatural elements, and the unknown. Writers often use the valley as a metaphor for the fears that lie within us, transforming the landscape into a canvas for exploring human psychology. These fictional accounts, while not strictly true, reflect the collective fascination we have with mysteries that defy explanation. Television series have capitalized on the valley's mystique as well. Documentaries and fictional shows alike have featured episodes dedicated to the legends and stories tied to this haunting locale. The dramatization of these tales brings a new audience into the fold, further embedding the valley into the cultural consciousness. As each new portrayal emerges, the legends grow, intertwining with contemporary narratives and keeping the mysteries alive for future generations. Ultimately, the portrayal of the Headless Valley in popular culture serves to amplify its enigmatic status. The combination of historical accounts and creative storytelling ensures that the valley remains a subject of intrigue, inviting exploration and discussion. As long as there are stories to tell, the mysteries of this haunting region will continue to captivate and inspire, ensuring that the tales of the Headless Men endure in both folklore and popular media. As we wrap up our exploration of the Headless Valley, I can't help but feel a shiver down my spine. The tales of lost souls and the echoes of the past linger in the air, don't they? Picture this: a serene landscape hiding secrets so dark that they defy explanation. Why do people keep disappearing here? Are the legends of the Naha tribe merely stories? Or is there something more sinister lurking in the shadows? Imagine standing at the edge of the valley, the wind whispering ancient secrets. What if you stumbled upon a hidden treasure? Or worse, what if you encountered the very forces that have claimed so many lives? The mysteries of the Nahanni National Park are not just stories. They invite you to question reality itself. So, what do you think? Is it gold that draws people to this cursed land? Or is it something far more elusive? Could it be the spirits of those who came before, warning us away? I want to hear your theories. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, the world is full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered. What will we explore next? Stay curious, my friends. The next adventure awaits.